If you are seeing this, it is not a coincidence. It is a quantum signal from the universe itself, programmed into the very fabric of your reality to trigger the wealth download that has your name on it. For anyone in the USA, UK, or across the world who has felt the frustration of financial resistance, who has tried affirmations and vision boards only to see minimal results, this message is your final catalytic sign. Modern quantum physics and neuroscience now prove that millions are not earned. They are received through a specific learnable frequency of being, and your breakthrough is literally waiting for you to tune into it. If you are ready to end the struggle, silence the doubt, and allow the quantum field to orchestrate outrageous and rapid abundance in your life, you must subscribe and watch this right now, because what we are about to reveal will rewire your subconscious, reset your nervous system, and permanently install the wealth consciousness that makes attracting millions not just possible, but inevitable. Script: the universe operates on a principle of pure intelligent energy, a vast quantum field of infinite potential where every possible reality, including the one where you are in possession of millions, already exists as a vibrational probability, and your access point to this reality is not your effort, but your consciousness. Specifically, the frequency and coherence of the signal you're broadcasting from the very core of your being, which is a blend of your conscious thoughts and, more importantly, your deep subconscious programming about identity, worth, and safety. Because the law of attraction is not about positive thinking, but about vibrational frequency matching, where your dominant emotional state acts as a magnetic force, drawing financial circumstances that mirror its essence. And here is the critical twist that keeps millions at bay. You can affirm wealth all day long, but if your subconscious is rooted in a story of scarcity, struggle, or unworthiness, often held in the very tissues of your body and the pathways of your nervous system, you are broadcasting a conflicting signal that cancels out your conscious desires, creating a null point in the field where manifestation cannot land, which is why the first and most profound work is not in chasing money, but in achieving nervous system regulation, moving from a state of stress and lack, sympathetic fight or flight, into a state of safety and receptivity, parasympathetic rest and digest. For only from this regulated state can you truly align with the vibrational frequency of universal abundance, which is one of ease, trust, and overflow. This shift is a dimensional shift, a literal leap from the old reality of financial anxiety into a new quantum reality where money is a fluid form of energy that flows to you because of who you are, not what you do, and the gateway to this leap is the nexus, the precise point where your internal world of belief meets the external field of possibility. A point you influence through the observer effect, where your focused attention and emotional embodiment on the feeling of already having millions literally collapses that probability wave into your lived experience, making quantum manifestation a scientific process of selective attention and energetic congruence. However, the universe, in its infinite intelligence, does not simply hand you millions because you vibrate highly. It first sends you tests, opportunities to prove your new wealth consciousness is stronger than your old money story. And these tests often look like unexpected expenses, delayed payments, or tempting opportunities to fall back into scarcity mindset. And how you respond in these moments is everything. For it is here that you either react from the old subconscious program, thereby reinforcing the financial reality you wish to escape, or you respond from a place of unshakable trust, regulating your nervous system and declaring your faith in the invisible quantum support system, which then interprets your steadfastness as a signal of true alignment and begins to orchestrate the tangible delivery of wealth in ways that will astonish you, often through sudden opportunities, unexpected partnerships, or creative ideas that seem to download directly into your mind from the field itself. This process requires embodiment, not just visualization. You must walk, talk, and make decisions from the future version of yourself that already has millions, which creates coherence between your desire and your daily state. And this coherence is the magic key that unlocks the quantum field, because the universe responds to harmonic, congruent signals, not fragmented wishes, and as you practice this embodiment, you initiate a consciousness expansion that allows you to perceive wealth not as paper currency, but as a dynamic, creative energy that you are in a constant, reciprocal dance with, a dance governed by the principles of quantum physics and field theory, where your local reality is a holographic projection of your non-local mind. The twist, however, is that to receive money at this scale, you must dismantle the identity of the person who struggles for money and become a quantum nexus of abundance, a vortex through which financial energy circulates for your benefit and the benefit of all, and this means you must let go of the how and the when, surrendering your outdated timelines and logistical plans to the intelligence of the field, which operates in ways your logical mind cannot fathom, connecting you to people, resources, and synchronicities in a perfect divine sequence that feels like magic but is simply physics. This is the quantum leap, a discontinuous jump from one financial reality to another, bypassing the linear grind, and it is achieved when your vibrational frequency around money becomes a match for the frequency of universal abundance, which is a feeling of grateful, joyful expectancy, and you must cultivate this feeling before the evidence appears, for the evidence is always the last thing to manifest in the physical realm, and your ability to feel abundant when your bank account says otherwise is the ultimate test of your wealth consciousness and the very trigger that forces the bank statement to change to reflect your inner truth. Furthermore, your subconscious must be rewired to see wealth as safe, allowable, and a natural part of your identity. And this is done through targeted work that bypasses the critical conscious mind, using theta-state reprogramming to install new beliefs like, money comes to me easily and endlessly, or I am a millionaire, beliefs that then automatically guide your decisions and perceptions, attracting wealth on autopilot. Because when your deep mind believes it, your reality must reflect it. And this is where consciousness expansion meets practical manifestation, creating a feedback loop of increasing evidence that solidifies your new quantum reality. Therefore, the moment you truly understand that attracting millions is an inside job, a shift in your fundamental state of being, you will stop chasing and start receiving. And the universe, which has been waiting for this precise frequency shift, will respond with a deluge of opportunities, ideas, and resources that seem to come from nowhere, because you have finally tuned your receiver to the broadcast station of infinite abundance, and you are now a living magnet for all the wealth that is your divine right. So take this as your final sign. The only thing standing between you and the millions is the old version of you that still believes in lack. And it is time to let that version go, regulate your system, embody the future, and watch as the quantum field performs its miraculous orchestration, delivering to you a reality of such profound and effortless prosperity that you will finally know without a doubt that you are indeed the powerful creator you were always meant to be, and the millions are not coming. They are already here, vibrating in the field, waiting for your unwavering signal to bring them home. This profound alignment, however, is precisely where the universe initiates its most rigorous and elegant curriculum, because the quantum field is not a passive vending machine for wishes, but an intelligent, responsive mirror that will reflect back to you every hidden fracture, every unhealed wound, and every covert allegiance to scarcity still lurking within your subconscious. This is the critical twist that transforms the journey from a linear path to a spiral of deepening mastery. As you broadcast this new, coherent signal of wealth consciousness, the first thing the field does is not send money, but send you scenarios designed to test the integrity of your new frequency. You may face a sudden, unexpected financial demand, or a lucrative opportunity may seem to evaporate at the last moment. The old you, the identity tethered to struggle, would interpret this as proof that manifestation doesn't work, triggering a cascade of fear and contraction. But the version of you operating from quantum principles recognizes this for what it truly is, a frequency shift invitation. The universe is asking, have you truly shifted your vibrational frequency, or are you merely performing abundance? When the stimulus for fear appears, can you maintain nervous system regulation and choose trust? Your response in these moments is the alchemy, choosing peace, choosing faith, choosing the emotional state of already having millions in the face of contradictory evidence is the most powerful command signal you can emit. It tells the quantum field that your new reality is not a fair-weather state, but your permanent home. This act of sustained embodiment under pressure creates a coherence so potent it forces a dimensional shift in your personal timeline, effectively ejecting you from the old probability track of lack and onto the new one of universal abundance. This journey necessitates a deep, often uncomfortable intimacy with your own subconscious. Think of it as conducting a forensic audit of your mind's financial programming. Every limiting belief, money is the root of all evil, rich people are corrupt, I have to work myself to the bone to earn a dime, is not just a thought, it is a literal vibrational frequency that acts as a firewall, blocking the energy of millions. These beliefs often live not in your conscious logic, but in the body, in the nervous system, as somatic memories of past lack or inherited family trauma. This is where consciousness expansion becomes tangible work. You must enter states of deep relaxation, alpha and theta brainwave states, to dialogue with this hidden programming. In this space, you don't fight the old story, you witness it with compassion and then introduce a new, more powerful frequency through visualization, emotion, and declarative statement. You might revisit a memory of parental money anxiety not to relive the pain, but to bring the quantum truth of abundance into that past moment, effectively healing the timeline and changing the vibration you are emitting from your history now. This is quantum physics applied to personal history, the understanding that all time is present in the field, and by changing the energy you hold around a past event, you change its resonant effect on your present and future. As you do this, you become a quantum nexus where healed past, empowered present, and prosperous future converge, creating a singularity of creative power that massively accelerates manifestation. Furthermore, the principle of quantum entanglement reveals a staggering truth about attracting millions. Your financial reality is entangled with your sense of self-worth, your capacity for joy, and your openness to receive. You cannot vibrate with low self-worth and entangle with high financial flow. The frequencies are incompatible. Therefore, the universe, in its mission to deliver your millions, will simultaneously send you lessons and opportunities to expand your worth, your joy, and your receptivity. It might bring a compliment that you must learn to accept graciously, or an offer of help you must learn to receive without guilt. Each time you expand your capacity to feel worthy of good things, you are, in fact, expanding your financial channel. The law of attraction, then, is less about attraction and more about resonant entanglement. You are not pulling money to you, you are vibrating at the same frequency as the energy pattern of having millions, and thus you become entangled with it. The money that arrives is simply the physical 3D confirmation of an entanglement that has already occurred in the quantum field. This is why the feeling of already having it is so crucial. It is the proof of entanglement. The embodiment phase is where theory becomes unshakable knowing. This goes beyond positive thinking. It is about allowing the future millionaire's consciousness to pilot your current body and decisions. It means spending 10 minutes feeling the visceral sensations of financial freedom, the relaxation in your shoulders, the lightness in your chest, the easy smile, and then carrying that somatic imprint into your next interaction or business decision. It means your gait changes, your eye contact changes, the authority in your voice changes. Your nervous system, now consistently regulated in the state of having, stops producing stress chemicals associated with scarcity and begins to bathe your cells in the chemistry of safety and possibility. This biological shift is detectable. People will respond to you differently. Opportunities will find you more easily. You are now in a state of alignment so complete that your very presence becomes a quantum reflex, automatically attracting and creating wealth-generating situations. You begin to operate from what can be called quantum leverage, where small inspired actions produce disproportionately large results, because they are perfectly timed and directed by the intelligence of the field, not by your limited, striving ego. The final, most profound twist in this quantum leap is the dissolution of the recipient identity. Initially, you work to become the person who receives money, but the ultimate state of wealth consciousness is realizing you are not a recipient at all, you are the source. The quantum field of universal abundance is not outside of you, it is what you are made of. Your individualized consciousness is a localized expression of this infinite, abundant field. When you know this at a cellular level, your focus shifts from attracting wealth to expressing creativity, value, and love. The millions become a byproduct of your full, authentic expression, not the goal. This is the dimensional shift, moving from the dimension of lack, where money is a sacred object to be pursued, to the dimension of unity, where money is one of many fluid forms of creative energy that circulates through you. From this place, giving and receiving become the same circular motion. You give generously not to get, but because the overflow is your natural state, and the universe, obeying its own laws of energy dynamics, must keep the circuit open by flooding more back to you. This is the master key to attract millions. Become a clear, open conduit for value, and the universe will use you as a river for its abundance, ensuring the flow through you is massive, because you are not a dam, but a wide, deep channel. Therefore, the journey to being sent millions is a sacred initiation into your own power. It begins with a decision, deepens through subconscious reprogramming and nervous system regulation, is tested by the universe's intelligent mirror, and is fulfilled through total embodiment and a final, graceful surrender of the separate self who thought it was doing the manifesting. The quantum reality of wealth is not a distant dream, it is a parallel reality existing right now in the infinite potential of the field. Your work is not to build it brick by brick, but to tune your vibrational frequency to its station until the static of the old world fades and the clear signal of your prosperous destiny is all you can perceive. And then, inevitably, all you will live. The millions are already sent. Your signature is already on the delivery. The only remaining variable is your willingness to let go of every frequency, every thought, and every identity that argues otherwise. This is not your first sign, it is your final sign. The universe is done whispering. It is now awaiting your definitive, coherent yes. This sustained embodiment initiates what can be termed the quantum feedback loop of evidence, a self-reinforcing cycle where your maintained frequency begins to generate tangible, albeit initially small, proofs in your physical reality. This is not the grand deposit of millions yet, but rather the universe's way of speaking your new language back to you, an unexpected refund, a lucrative freelance offer from an old contact, a winning lottery ticket found on the street for a modest sum. These are not coincidences, they are quantum breadcrumbs, deliberate signs from the field confirming you are on the new frequency. Your job in this phase is critical. You must receive these signs with the same grateful, knowing emotion you would feel receiving the millions. You must celebrate the $100 windfall with the visceral joy of the millionaire, for this reinforces the neural and vibrational pattern that money comes to me easily and surprisingly. If you dismiss these signs as trivial or separate from the grand goal, you sever the feedback loop and tell the universe you are not yet satisfied with its language, thereby delaying the greater conversation. This phase is the practical training ground for nervous system regulation. In the face of actual increasing inflow, you are learning to stay in a state of calm, joyful receptivity as the current of abundance begins to visibly quicken around you, proving to your once skeptical subconscious that the new rules are indeed in effect. thereby dissolving the last vestiges of doubt at the deepest level and solidifying your wealth consciousness into an unshakable knowing. Simultaneously, as your internal frequency shift stabilizes, you will enter a period of profound consciousness expansion regarding the nature of money itself. You begin to perceive wealth not as a static number in an account, but as a dynamic, intelligent energy current that flows toward the highest expression of value, innovation, and solved problems. This realization sparks what is known as the quantum idea download. From your regulated, coherent state, your brain humming in the alpha-theta gateway, inspired ideas will begin to surface. These are not the strained products of logical brainstorming, but elegant, complete concepts that seem to arrive from nowhere. They are the universe's specific blueprints for your manifestation, the customized pathways through which your millions will logically and elegantly arrive. One might be a business concept that solves a problem you're passionate about. Another might be a creative project or an investment insight. The key is that these ideas arrive with a surge of energizing emotion and a sense of intuitive certainty. This is the quantum field orchestrating the how and presenting it to your expanded awareness. To receive money at the millionaire level, you must then act on these downloads with courageous trust, even if they seem unconventional or ask you to step outside your professional comfort zone. This action is the final piece of the alignment puzzle. It is you physically moving into the new timeline the field has mapped out for you. Each step taken on this inspired path further collapses the probability wave of your financial reality, pulling the future millions closer to the present moment with magnetic force. Here, we encounter the paramount importance of vibrational coherence between your desire and your environment. Your external world, your home, your social circle, even the media you consume, must be brought into alignment with your new quantum reality of abundance. This is an act of creating a nexus in your physical space. It means tidying your finances, no matter how small, as an act of reverence for the energy of money. It means surrounding yourself with symbols of abundance that feel true to you, not as desperate talismans, but as affirmations of a truth already in motion. More crucially, it involves an audit of your relationships. The law of attraction operates through people, as much as through ideas. You must discern between those who resonate with your old story of lack and may unconsciously seek to pull you back into it through their words or energy, and those who resonate with your new story of expansion. This does not always mean cutting people out, but it does mean fiercely protecting your new frequency by limiting exposure to conversations rooted in scarcity, lack, and limitation. You are, in essence, building a quantum ecosystem around you that supports and amplifies your signal, making the dimensional shift not just an internal event, but an environmental one. The process now accelerates toward the quantum convergence point. This is the moment when all the threads, your inner coherence, your inspired actions, your supportive environment, and the universe's intelligent orchestration, draw together into a singularity of manifestation. It often feels like a period of intense synchronicity, where every person you meet, every piece of information you encounter, seems perfectly arranged to advance your goal. You may feel a strange sense of being guided, of doors opening with minimal effort. This is the quantum field in its full collaborative glory. It is during this convergence that what you once called luck becomes your normal operating state. However, a profound final test often presents itself here, the test of surrender. Just when everything seems to be building to a crescendo, there may be an apparent pause, a seeming delay in the final delivery. The old self would interpret this as failure, triggering anxiety and the urge to revert to frantic, controlling action. The new, quantum self recognizes this as the universe's final calibration check. It is asking, do you trust me even in the silence? Are you willing to surrender the very timeline of your desire? Your ability to remain in a state of peaceful, joyful expectancy during this void is the ultimate key that unlocks the floodgates. It demonstrates a wealth consciousness so complete that it knows the provision is guaranteed, regardless of the clock's ticking. This final surrender of control is what allows the universe to deliver in a way that often exceeds your original imagination in its elegance and grace. When the delivery comes, it may not look like a single check for millions. The universe, in its infinite creativity, specializes in quantum leaps that bypass linear accumulation. It might be a single business deal, a property transaction, an intellectual property sale, or the rapid scaling of a venture that crosses the million-dollar threshold in a surprisingly short time. The form is irrelevant. The feeling is one of divine rightness and natural flow. You will realize in that moment that the money was never the source of your security or power, it is a reflection of it. The true wealth was the consciousness expansion, the nervous system regulation, and the profound self-mastery you achieved in the process. You have become a quantum nexus of abundance, a person whose very presence commands and attracts financial energy because you are no longer attached to it. You are free. This is the ultimate dimensional shift. You now inhabit a quantum reality where universal abundance is the default setting, and your focus naturally shifts from getting to giving, from receiving to circulating, knowing with every fiber of your being that the source is infinite and you are an eternal open channel for its expression. Therefore, the journey concludes not with an ending, but with a new beginning grounded in a timeless truth. The millions were always yours, not as an external reward, but as the natural consequence of aligning your being with the fundamental creative principle of the cosmos. You have not manipulated a law, you have become harmonious with it. The quantum field and your consciousness are now in a state of resonant partnership, and from this union, a life of limitless prosperity, purpose, and peace is not a hopeful possibility, it is the only logical quantum outcome. You are now the living proof that the universe is infinitely abundant, and it has been waiting for you to claim your rightful place within its generous, boundless flow. The sign you were waiting for was never outside of you. It was the quiet, persistent pull toward your own expansion, and by following it, you have not only attracted millions, you have become the very vibration to which all abundance, in all its forms, eternally resonates. This mastery of the quantum flow ushers in the era of quantum stewardship, a phase where your relationship with wealth transcends personal acquisition and evolves into a conscious curation of energy for the highest good. The millions are no longer a destination, but a dynamic resource pool that amplifies your capacity to influence reality. Here, the principles of field theory and coherence take on a monumental scale. Your personal vibration, now a stable broadcast of abundance, begins to interact with the collective field in a more directive way. You become a nexus not just for money, but for transformative ideas and opportunities that benefit others. This is the quantum leap from selfish manifestation to selfless creation. Your wealth consciousness now understands that hoarding energy stagnates the flow, while strategic, heart-centered circulation creates a vortex that pulls in exponentially more. This isn't about philanthropy from guilt, but about energy investment from alignment. You are literally programming the quantum field around you with the frequency of solution, ease, and elevation, and the universe responds by entangling you with projects and people of monumental impact, where financial returns are a natural byproduct of the value generated. Your subconscious programming is now that of a benevolent architect, and your nervous system remains regulated not just in lack, but in the face of vast responsibility, because you are no longer identified with the money as a measure of your worth, but as a tool of your consciousness. This stage demands a new layer of embodiment, the embodiment of trust on a cosmic scale. You will be guided to make decisions that defy conventional financial logic, investing in a person's character over their collateral, funding a nascent idea based on its vibrational purity rather than its business plan, walking away from lucrative deals that feel energetically corrosive. Each of these decisions is a quantum reflex, a direct communication with the intelligent field, and each act of faith further refines your role as a conductor of universal abundance. The dimensional shift is now palpable. You operate from a plane where time is compressible and outcomes are malleable. A project that might take a conventional mindset years to build could materialize in months, as synchronicities compress timelines and obstacles dissolve not through force, but through a natural reorganization of reality around your coherent intent. This is where quantum physics becomes your daily experience. You witness the observer effect not as a theory, but as a practical tool, knowing that your unwavering focus on a positive outcome for all involved actively collapses the probability wave in that direction. Furthermore, this phase involves the conscious dismantling of the final and most insidious subconscious barrier, the belief in separation between your prosperity and the prosperity of others. The old, scarcity-based model sees wealth as a finite pie, creating a subconscious guilt about having too much. The quantum reality reveals infinite pie, where your expansion creates more expansion for others. Your mission becomes to demonstrate this truth through your actions. This might look like creating business structures that generate wealth for employees and communities, or designing products and services that actively raise the vibrational frequency of your customers. As you do this, you enter a state of quantum entanglement with the success of those you touch. Their growth becomes a feedback loop that fuels your own, not through extraction but through resonance. You have become an active node in a living network of abundance, and the quantum field rewards this systemic harmony with stability, innovation, and a profound sense of purpose that makes the initial millions feel like a mere starting capital of a much grander adventure. The culmination is not a financial figure, but a state of being, quantum sovereignty. In this state, money is a completely neutral and obedient form of energy. It loses all emotional charge. Anxiety about loss is impossible because you know its source is internal and infinite. The need to attract millions is replaced by the calm authority to generate and direct value at will. Your consciousness is now the ultimate currency. From this place, creation is effortless. Ideas for wealth generation come not from a place of how can I get, but from a place of what magnificent expression can I bring forth. The millions follow the expression, always. Your life becomes a testament to the principle that the universe is not merely abundant, but generatively abundant, seeking ever more complex and beautiful forms through which to express its creativity, with you as a willing and co-creative partner. You have moved from living in a reality where you chase money to inhabiting a quantum reality where money, and every other form of abundant energy, gracefully and persistently chases the vision born from your awakened consciousness. The journey that began with a desire to receive concludes with the profound understanding that you were, are, and always will be the source.